Hello there, my name is John and I am currently 13. I was a chronic day and night wetter. My story goes back to when I was 3 years old. I have had bladder problems ever since then. I could not stop wetting myself, and my bed. It stopped when I was 4, but slowly. I had no idea what would happen in the future. When I was 8 I started wetting the bed. I decided to hide my clothes and sheets under my bed. Sadly my parents found the sheets while I was at school. They were very stern with me and said if you wet your bed ever again you will have to wear goodnights or pull-ups. I screamed and told them it wasn't fair. I hated the idea of wearing diapers to bed, especially because I slept in the same room as my twin brother. I decided to stay awake all night, but I finally gave in and I wet the bed again. I was devastated and I just decided to tell them. I was given pull-ups that night and told Mom I want to change myself. She said no and I threw a fit. I locked my door and wouldn't let her in. Then she said if I didn't she would tell my brothers. I opened the door and my parents busted in and they grabbed me and forced the diaper on me. The worst part was that I had to wear the diaper with the Disney princess on the front. The next morning I was soaked and was extremely embarrassed. I tried to make it to the bathroom but saw something. I then found out that my parents put rules on the door. It read, "Bedwetting rules. When you come home from school I have to put my pull-ups on right away. If you are dry for a month you can wear your tidy whities. If you are wet you have to wear them for a month with plastic sheets and under jams. If you lied about wetting yourself you would have a great punishment. If you weren't wearing one you would have to go to the park for 5 hours with a wet diaper and nothing else." My dad heard me get up and came into my room. He pinched my pull-up to see if it was wet. He asked if I read the rules. I answered and he pulled some plastic sheets out of my closet. He changed the wet ones and put the plastic sheets on. He said, "Wow, you wet the bed so bad it looks like an ocean." I blushed and then got ready for school. I wet the bed every night for 5 weeks, then I started wetting in the day. It first happened in science, when I noticed I was wetting my pants. I was lucky I was in the back so no one saw or heard. I got up and went to the bathroom. I barely made it in time but my underwear was moist. I told my teacher and she kindly called my house. I was then putting pull-ups 24/7. I was not at all happy about it. It was then very clear I had to go to the doctors. I saw him and he said that my bladder was messed up. This was terrible news for me and I took it very badly. I wet the bed so incredibly bad last night that my entire bed and body was drenched in urine. I never forgot that night. After that incident I was put in disposable diapers. This is the worst part. In 3 weeks I was invited to a sleepover with 4 other guys. I hadn't been invited to a party in weeks so I accidentally said yes. My mom told the mother about my problem and to change me if needed. She told me to wear 2 diapers at once so I wouldn't leak. Everything was fine and I had a great time. I didn't even wet the bed for the first time. I got invited to many more sleepovers and the same thing happened. I was invited to a sleepover every week. It lasted for a long time and I soon didn't have to wear a diaper at all. I was over in my bedwetting and thought it was over. It was until one night, my friend Drake was found out to have a diaper. I saw it and he knew I did. His face turned as red as lava and then started to sob. I told him I used to wet the bed and I wouldn't tell anyone, so he stopped crying. I am glad he was feeling better. Boy, looking back then it seems sad, but at least he doesn't wear a diaper now. As for my brother, he never found out. No one did, and so it was forgotten. I now tell this story to people who listen and need advice.